Marvel's X-Men are slated to continue their renaissance through the current Reign of X. And so while I look back on how this current era of mutant kind has gotten here, I'm still fascinated by the kickoff miniseries that started it all, House of X and Powers of 10. Particularly with Powers of 10, there are a couple of small details that have always fascinated me about the book, but they aren't exactly big enough for me to do full-fledged videos on them. So, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to take the next few minutes to go over some HoX-PoX quick takes real quick. Before I read a certain classic sci-fi novel that recontextualized the ending of Powers of X, I was originally fascinated by the Phalanx assimilation of post-humanity at the end of the series. For as ominous as the scene is presented to us, the accompanied data pages describing the definitions and habits of these super-intelligent Type 3 civilizations ironically sounded less like a hyper-advanced entity and more akin to something like an unthinking and instinctually driven single-celled organism, wandering through the universe like an amoeba through the ocean. It searches for smaller, lesser beings to absorb within itself for the sake of its own self-interested growth and sustenance. Seeing as how post-humanity's ascension and religious yearning to become one with the Phalanx is framed as the technological inevitability of humanity once it rejects the quote-unquote natural and biological evolution of Earth, understanding the Phalanx as this pinnacle of technological achievement over the course of literal centuries really changes in tone and presence when we come to realize it behaves almost indistinguishably similar to eukaryotic protozoa. And this reframes Powers of 10 from a story on the history of mutant kind and humanity to a cycle wherein the origin of species in primordial waters ends up as a microcosmic model that is inadvertently mimicked by the large-scale feats of godlike technology. This idea of something grand becoming similar to something small is artistically echoed in the pages of Powers of 10 number 5, when we see Nimrod the Greater explain how these technologically advanced intelligences cryptically organize themselves, and we witness the very same structures he's explaining appear as nothing but nearly imperceptible cells on his screen. Poetically, all of this harkens to the following famous Latin phrase, which is more aptly shortened to as above, so below. This has been Mel from New Comics. I hope you've enjoyed the video.